This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Get comfortable. I'm about to read an article from The Hill, which I think is extremely important, surrounding geopolitics regarding Harry and Meghan and why what they are doing right now seems clearly an act of war against the royal family. Now, I've said this from the beginning. If Meghan and Harry cannot take the throne, nobody else is going to be able to do so. And what we are seeing is the deliberate behavior to destroying this institution. And she's doing it because she didn't get her way. Initially, now I have pointed out several times over that Meghan and Harry had full intention on having this half in, half out. And what they were going to do is exactly what Prince Andrew was doing, which was being this special sort of envoy for the Commonwealth. Harry has mentioned it so many times about the tremendous amount of opportunity. And I have stated the tremendous amount of opportunity is in the trade. Now, the United States, as well as Russia, China, they want this territory. They want that money. And what do you think Meghan and Harry were planning on doing? They were planning on taking their royal status, working for the Queen by visiting all these countries, and at the same time doing back end deals with facilitating, sort of like what the Clintons did, where you saw Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, who was allowing all these deals going through with Bill Clinton and these speeches. This was the exact same thing. And it's why the Queen saw this as a conflict of interest. The fact that they would be going off representing the Queen, but then on the side privately becoming financially independent. How else do you think they were going to become financially independent? They were going to do this as cash for access, literally. You got to look at the patterns because Meghan and Harry's behaviors are so predictable. Think about how they got the Netflix and Spotify deals. They most likely, when they were working royals, when they were negotiating these agreements, promised these companies access to the royal family or access to exclusive stories and interviews, yada, yada. You see where this is going? This is what they were trying to do. And when the Queen shot it down, this killed everything. So my hat's off to the late Queen because she saw what this woman was all about. So it makes sense as to why Meghan Markle is so bitter and so vengeful and why she continues to keep attacking the families because they told her no, she couldn't monetize the monarchy. And now what we're seeing is Meghan's, if I can't have it, then no one else can. So I'll burn it to the ground. And that's exactly what this malicious, vindictive, spiteful, evil woman has been doing. Let's take a look at this article now because it shows from a political standpoint, Washington, D.C. is paying attention. So get comfortable. Here we go. Red carpets, Hollywood glitz, and stage photo ops are not evocative of a humble Rastafarian lifestyle. Nor was Meghan Markle gaudily wearing an oversized black ball dress during a surprise appearance at the movie premiere of Bob Marley One Love in Kingston, Jamaica. Prince Harry didn't sport Marley's iconic dreadlocks, but certainly the appearance of King Charles's third youngest son is causing dread in Whitehall and Buckingham Palace. Always looking for an opportunity, Harry and Meghan sent an unmistakable message by their very presence. Infamous already for endorsing the branding of a 56-member Commonwealth of Nations as Empire 2.0 in their eponymous Netflix series, Harry and Meghan's eye-catching walk down the carpet was likely intended to upstage King Charles and his putative successor, Prince William. Knives Out, the 2019 dark comedy about an antagonistic family taking aim at its patriarch, would have been a more apt movie premiere choice. Harry and Meghan, ever the self-unaware narcissists, are clearly out for petty familial revenge in this latest installment of their South Park-branded worldwide privacy tour. The timing of the scheming duo's PR stunt in the Caribbean was likely calculated. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who remains in hospital after abdominal surgery, will be laid up for months. William is sidelined from royal duties as well, caring for their children. The king also will be out of pocket for some time as he begins treatment for an enlarged prostate. This would all be amusing were it not for the serious damage Harry and Meghan continue to inflict upon the national security of the United Kingdom and its Commonwealth partners, and by extension to the US with their effective promotion of Russian and Chinese propaganda. Harry and Meghan's attention seeking behavior was bad enough in the waning years of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's lives. They were well into their 90s and increasingly in ill health. But now it's far worse, given how rapidly an ideological global war is overtaking the globe. Harry and Meghan are incapable of reading the room at a geostratic level. Devoid of much needed Whitehall guidance, they are foolishly playing into the propaganda hands of Russia's Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping. Moscow and Beijing are out to destroy the Commonwealth headed by King Charles, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex continue to help them at every turn. Simply put, it is time for Harry and Meghan to be formally stripped of their royal titles by an act of British Parliament. The decision at the One Love premiere to glad hand Marlene Malahoo Fort, the Jamaican Minister for Legal and Constitutional Affairs, was unforgivable from a king and country point of view. Fort is spearheading the movement for Jamaica to cease being a realm of King Charles and to become a republic. Nor was it constitutionally wise for Harry to be pictured with Jamaica's Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, who is continuing with his plans to hold a referendum on it later this year. While formal independence and republicanism are certainly choices Jamaicans have a right to make for themselves as a country and as a people, Harry, in his capacity as the king's son, should not be seen as endorsing it. Based on Spare, the autobiography penned by Harry with the aid of a ghostwriter, we likely know why the Duke of Sussex sought the meet and greet with Holness. Famously, in 2022, William and Kate, representing Queen Elizabeth, had an awkward meeting with Holness in which the Jamaican Prime Minister informed the couple that his country had moved on and would proceed to fulfill our true ambition and destiny as an independent country. At the time, William and Catherine's trip to Jamaica was widely thought a disaster, but unfairly so. Russian and Chinese disinformation campaigns, oh, no. It was not that. This was Sussex Squad. Unless this is who Meghan and Harry have agreed to work with. Keep that in the back of your heads, folks. Russian and Chinese disinformation campaigns to subvert the Commonwealth and the UK's remaining realms had long been underway. The two simply ran into a buzzsaw, not of their making. Nope, this was of their making. Meghan and Harry were behind these attacks. We know this. We have evidence of it. So let me pause this for a second and pose this question. Since we know that Meghan and Harry are behind majority of these campaigns against William and Catherine, we know that they support the Sussex Squad and are paid. The question becomes, now opening up Pandora's box here, are Meghan and Harry working with the Russian and Chinese governments? My guess is that Russia seems to be on the cards here, since their heavy ties with these Russian oligarchs. Harry in his light had his knives out. Allegorically speaking, he also knifed his brother in the back by intentionally inviting contrasts of William and Catherine's difficult official visit to Kingston with his own Ulmer-scale D-list celebrity camo and I'm going to add this on my own, bitch wife. What next? Will they meet with Argentine President Javier Milei to discuss Argentina's sovereignty over the Falkland Islands? One Love may have been the theme of the night in Kingston, but it was hardly on display by Harry and Meghan. Nor, as Marley intoned in his classic hit Three Little Birds, is every little thing going to be all right. Harry is always going to be a problem. His brash declaration on the red carpet that he had to be here in Jamaica is sufficiently indicative of that. Did he really, when his father is facing a medical procedure? When his sister-in-law is recuperating from serious surgery? Neither of which, notably and rather crassly, has he commented on publicly. Short of a directive from Buckingham Palace to represent the monarchy at the event, the premier crashers have once again lowered the bar. Yes, Harry and Meghan had to be there. It was too tempting an opportunity to seize the stage from Charles and William. Essentially, however, they were ambulance chasing and appeared to be vainly attempting to profit from their family's medical challenges. In that regard, Harry and Meghan succeeded. But now it is time for the UK to laugh them off that stage and formally, through an act of parliament, remove their titles, as well as Harry's spot in the order of succession. Harry and Meghan started this knife fight. It is time King Charles and Parliament put a decisive end to it. And that's the end of the article. Aside from the assumption that it was Russian and Chinese propaganda that was pushing out the campaign against William and Catherine, I don't think they fully understand that Meghan was behind all of that. And I think once this starts to come out, especially in Samantha's case, should it move forward, God willing, we know that all of this is going to be exposed. And I'm telling you, Meghan and Harry need to be shut down. I agree, the title should be stripped. But if we think about it, could that actually backfire on the palace if they do decide to do that, or if Parliament does decide to do that? Because this Marxist, fascist, racist Meghan Markle will use it to her advantage in crying racism and victimhood, thus triggering off another wave of hatred. We all know that Meghan is completely on board with trying to discriminate against now the white race, which is what is happening here. We're seeing the erasure of the Caucasian European race at this moment with this dangerous ideology, with people like Meghan Markle who are filled with so much hate to destroy anything that was built or led by a Caucasian individual. Now, with all the propaganda that Meghan and Harry put out and the intense focus they have on brainwashing the youth, I can totally see Meghan continue on this mission because I'm sure she's feeling quite emboldened to do so now since the whole world is talking about it. I can see Meghan going to other Commonwealth countries and sort of getting herself in with the younger generation, especially girls, in trying to see her plight, in trying to recognize that we can be independent women and we don't need to be held down by the white man anymore. This is very dangerous. And I've warned of this from the very beginning that Meghan, she's here to destroy. And if we do not figure out a way to stop her, whether it be cutting funds off, not giving her any more of a platform, or even putting this woman in jail for fraud, as we know that it's going on with Archwell, Meghan and Harry's global platform must be taken away. And I don't think stripping of the titles is going to do very much because they've been going for 5 years now doing whatever they want. And quite frankly, whoever's on the side of Meghan Markle or on the side of taking down the monarchy, taking away the titles is not going to mean anything. They're going to use that to their advantage. What I see will stop all of this is not even so much now stopping the funds and the money, because there will always be someone giving them money. Let's be real. Harry needs to be kicked out of this country. He should be banned and barred from the US for, one, inciting hatred, fostering a domestic terror group called the Sussex Squad, two, trying to undermine our Constitution, and three, doing drugs. That should be a no-brainer to kick this guy out of this country and be barred for life. Meghan, on the other hand, she needs to be prosecuted, or let's say investigated, then prosecuted for fraud, tax fraud. And she needs to be sent to jail. That should be the only way we cut their access off to having a global platform anymore. This is enough. I think people need to just recognize that the royal family cannot do anything at this point. These two are going to do whatever they want. The only way to stop them is now by law enforcement. They've gone too far. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? As always, I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave those comments down below, and we'll have a healthy discussion around it. But as always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
It was such a fraud.